version. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. I recorded about half an hour of footage, and this is also on the Q2n 4K by Zoom. Now, I want to do a review of this because although it's not musical equipment, I know a lot of musicians that have been waiting for me getting a hold of this to see what it was like. And a lot of people wanted me to do a review before I started doing reviews. I had to wait 2 months to get a hold of this because they are in short supply in the UK. If you can hear the washing machine in the background, I do apologise. It's the world's noisiest washing machine, but the washing needs done. Right. Now, for years I've been using one of these to record acoustic gigs, the ZOOM H4n. In fact, me and Gypsy Jeff Smith spent last year recording an album when we did a gig at our local every Monday night. We're just waiting at the moment till all the COVID stuff finishes before we put it out and get the photos taken, you know, because we want the photograph taken where we actually record it. Anyway, now this has a 150 degree wide angle lens at f.2. It's got a number of different viewing angles, so it's got 5 different viewing angles. I'll cut to the ones I took outside before, standing in the garden in my t-shirt. So at one you have 150 degrees. Then you have another notch, a little bit closer. Then you have a one in the middle. Then you have another one, then telephoto, which is what I'm on now. For reference, this camera is about that far away from me, okay? And I'm on the closest setting. So if any noise should be really apparent on this. Now, although I've got 2 lights, one there and one there, and one illuminating the background, obviously you're going to get some noise, even with an f2.8 lens. So it does have high dynamic range. The only thing that I have with this that I've found that is an advice more than anything else is I put 2 new, excuse me for a second, 2 new Duracell batteries, right? Now in this, audio only, I can record 2 weeks, you know, 2.5 weeks of me and Dave playing about 2 hours a night, right? Now I've played half an hour with brand new batteries in this, and they're already fat. So what I'm doing is you can power it by, you know, an Android phone charger. You can use one of those. So that's what I'll do if I'm using a Record Live. I have a very fast card in this at the moment, so a 125 gig fast card. It's not that expensive. I would advise going for that. Frame rates, right? You've got 4K at 30 FPS, 4K at 25, 4K at 24. You've got 1080p, 60 FPS, 50 FPS, 30, 25 and 24. You've got 720p at 30 FPS and 25 FPS. It also has a micro HDMI output, so it can go straight to a big monitor. You can also use it just as an audio recorder, basically as one of these, but a lot smaller. It's about year big, right? I've got the box that came in here. So the image on the box is actually bigger than the thing, right? It's actually about that size, you know, my head for scale. So it's not very big at all. It doesn't weigh a lot. It's quite well made. It records in the MOV format. You have on-screen digital meters. You can have either auto gain or set the gain yourself. It's got a number of sound settings. So are you doing solo like I was at the intro? Are you recording a live band rehearsal or a live gig? Are you outdoors? Stuff like that. Has a load of picture profiles just like you get on bloody Instagram or whatever, so you know what those do. You also have a headphone line out, so I could feasibly take this line out and, you know, put this alongside other stuff. You've got a low cut filter as well, which is really useful if there's a rumble. Now I've got this set quite high, the low rumble filter, I think at 120 Hertz, so you might not be able to hear the washing machine over in the kitchen, right? As I say, world's loudest washing machine. But you might. But basically any sort of low rumbles or people like stamping on the floor, it'll cut a lot of that out. Again, it's not Harry Potter, but it does a really good job. So you can use the USB on it, the Android USB thing, plug it into your computer and use it on sort of Facebook or live stream stuff, right? Now, for something like Teams or Zoom, a 4K camera is a bit overkill in my opinion, unless you're doing music. So you wouldn't use this for a business meeting, really, in my opinion. So it operates with 2 AA batteries, but as I say, you're going to want to use a charger, right? You're going to want to use a charger. It's alright for the occasional song, but if you're doing like I have there, half an hour solid of me just playing different songs to see what sounds decent and what the performance is right on, or even remotely right on. If I put one of the singing ones up, I do apologise. I haven't sang since March, so you know, a bit dodgy. It weighs 120 grams. Now, it records on obviously basically 2 tracks in stereo. Okay, it has 1 line input, so you could plug an external stereo mic into this, right, or a couple of condensers to a mixer or whatever, right? It's got 24-bit resolution, maximum sample rate of 96 kilohertz. So, does it have a limiter? No, you don't really need one. The microphone's integrated in it. Whereas with these, it's a bit similar to this, right? You see how they crossed over? Well, they've got a small version of that in there about there, right? And there's like a little, these wobbly bits there, right? I'm not sure what you'd call them. They're not indentations because they come out and in at the same time. Sound-wise, really good. I always do noise reduction when I'm doing videos anyway, but I've got a feeling I don't really need to do it on this. I've done a couple of tests in the house that I've put up on Facebook. I've done the noise reduction and everybody's went, wow, that sounds really good, meaning the sound quality. Good thing about 4K, from me coming from visual effects and games background, visual effects especially, if you've got 4K and you're down-resing like I probably will with this to 1080p, you can reframe the shot because it's twice as big. So instead of me being here, it's like me being there, right? So I can do close-ups, I can move it down a bit and just concentrate on the guitar when I'm playing, you know, stuff like that. So there you go. That is the bottom line about it. It's a really good camera. I picked this up for, I think it was 180 quid. They are going up in price. I've noticed that this is probably down to the fact they're having real big problems getting them into the UK at the moment. I'm not sure it's like for the rest of the world. I'm assuming that production over in Japan is a bit wobbly with COVID. Now, I have noticed there are people that do have them in stock that are inflating the prices. So if you're prepared to wait like I was, because this will get used every week by me once things are back to normal, then it's worth getting it for the low price. Because let's face it, none of us are gigging right now. We don't need it yesterday. We don't need it tomorrow. Right? If you get the chance to for the same price, crack on. But the point I'm making is it's worth waiting for. Okay? So that's my review of it. Yeah, again, as I say, not technically a musical instrument or an effects unit or something used for music, but it is something I know a lot of musicians were thinking of buying. So I wouldn't buy the non-4K version, the normal Q2n, get the 4K version. It's worth the extra money. Don't get that horrible little, looks like a mini security camera thing that Zoom make. The quality of those is absolutely terrible. That was sort of very early generation, their first forays into video. So there you go. I hope that's been of use. And I hope the sound sort of, you know, sample I've put up at the start is useful. Providing I haven't cocked up any of the performances, I might put another one at the end. Okay? And I'll probably keep it under like 15 minutes anyway. So. Right, anyway, I'm Wayne Robson. This is Skimp Musician Reviews. Make sure you like and subscribe and hit the little bell icon because we'll be doing uploads, a review every Monday, some of the random stuff and funny stuff on a Friday, and I might do the occasional bit in the middle as well of other stuff that I have plans for. See you all next time. Bye-bye.